Obama, the former president of Mexico, famous people come to Cal all the time to speak, and they're allowed to speak, and their speech is not barred, their speech is not relegated to 1 to 3 p.m., their speech is not relegated to being off campus, and their speech is not restricted to only students, and their speech is not restricted to not being advertised. So these are all unique requirements that are being imposed on conservative speakers at Cal.
That's the attorney for the conservative group at Berkeley. They're upset that conservative author Ann Coulter now canceling her speech at UC Berkeley. This is what's going on. The conservative group, the Young America's Foundation, it pulled its support. Why? Threats of violence and riots. This as Berkeley's mayor now being questioned over his ties to the extremist left-wing group responsible for the rioting in Berkeley, where cars have been burned, windows smashed, and people injured. Look who's here. Fox News senior judicial analyst has sorted out for us, Judge Ann Napolitano. So the protesters win by scaring people into silence?
The protesters win by scaring people into silence, which is known in the law as the heckler's veto. When the hecklers scream so loudly, or in this case, advertise their intention to scream, that the speaker can't speak. When that happens on property owned by the government, which is, of course, what Berkeley is. It's owned by the state of California. A prima facie case has been made for a violation of the First Amendment. So by Ann Coulter being scared away, and she's a tough cookie, she didn't do this to help the litigation, by Ann Coulter being scared away by the university showing or demonstrating or leading her to believe that it can't protect her, scared away from speaking, the Young Americans for Freedom case against Berkeley has been ratcheted up. It's now a very strong case. And quite simply, the case is this. Berkeley is unwilling to protect the free speech of those whose ideas it hates.
Wow. They have a case.
Of course they have a case. The government cannot engage. Berkeley's the government. The government cannot engage in discrimination, viewpoint discrimination. It has to protect the free speech of everyone who's been invited there. Free speech means the right of the speaker to speak, the right of the listeners to hear, and the right of the protesters to protest reasonably and without violence. If the administration of Berkeley can't balance those interests, it ought to get out of the business of running a state school dedicated to the freedom of speech.
There's so many problems with this, with what's going on here. I mean, even Elizabeth Warren said, listen, if you don't like what Ann Coulter says, then don't show up.
Well, Elizabeth Warren happens to be correct.
Yeah, listen to what she said.
Ann Coulter has just gotten a much bigger platform because someone tried to deny her a chance to speak. My view is let her speak and just don't show up.
You know, it's ironic that Ann Coulter is being treated like hate speech when you have Tom Perez, dropping S-bombs and cursing, So, a simple way to stop the rioting, this is what's an issue, too. The masks. Isn't it against the law to wear masks at riots?
I don't know what the law is in California.
It says no, you're not supposed to.
Okay, it's against the law here in New York. The masks is another issue, but it is the utter unwillingness of the government of the state of California, through its employees at Berkeley, to treat all ideas equally. That is the real offensive aspect here. Ann Coulter has a substantial case against them, and the Young Americans for Freedom, the people who offered to pay her and rented the space and got the agreement from the university, with the ones who filed the lawsuit, they have a substantial case against the state of California. I don't know where this is going to go, but the Supreme Court is very clear. Political speech on government property, the government has a duty to protect it, protect the speaker and protect the listeners.
I'm not, you got to wonder if the Berkeley law professors knew about that. They should have. But, what's interesting, Judge, what's going on here? I mean, in the 60s, the Berkeley young protesters, they protested in support of free speech against things like the Vietnam War. Now young people, with the encouragement of Berkeley professors, are rioting to be against free speech. Are we losing free speech?
We're in danger of losing free speech when employees of the government, which is what those professors are, encourage their students, and students comply with that encouragement, to cause such a conflagration that the speaker can't be heard. That's what the Supreme Court has condemned.
Well, if this moves forward, we want you to have you come back on because you're terrific.
We'll keep watching it. I thought we were going to watch your speech tomorrow, but apparently we're not.
Yeah, wow.